Hi all, this is Subramayam here. I am the Senior Technology Architect at Capgemini and I am an AWS Certified Solution Architect Professional, also an AWS Certified DevOps Engineer Professional. Today I'll be talking about how you will be able to create an Windows EC2 instance on AWS. This is my Chrome browser. Today I'll show how you will be able to create Windows EC2 instance on a free tier account. This is the URL you have to go for. Okay, so click on sign into the console. I have a free tier account and I have chosen my region as North Virginia. Here you can see the recently visited services. Now I'll be clicking on EC2. Okay, now I do not have any instances running on my system. Click on instances running. You cannot see any instances here. I'll be creating a new instance. So click on launch instance button. Here you can see the list of instances which are available. Uh, the, these are all eligible for free tier. So here you can see a label here, free tier eligible. So these are the instances which you can use for free tier eligibility. So these are the things. So these are all Linux systems. Our intention is to create an Windows system. Search for Windows here. Okay. So these are all the different Windows servers available with AWS, and these are all eligible for free tier. So this is a basic Windows machine, and this is 2019 Windows machine with the container with ready containers got installed. And this is a kind of Windows Server again with SQL Server of 2017 standard. Okay, so you can choose any of the things as per your requirement. Now I will show you how to create this Windows instance. Let me choose this Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base, which is free tier eligible. Click on select. Yeah, here you can see the family type, vCPUs, memory, instant storage, EBS optimized available, network performance, and so many things. Okay, let me go back to the previous and select again. Today I'm going to use this T2 micro, which is free tier eligible. You can hover on this and get the information if you need to understand. Here I can directly review and launch. So if it does that, it will take all default things. Otherwise, if you click on next, so it will take you through all the steps. Like here, the process of creating an EC2 instance has these many steps. One is choosing an AMI, choose instance type, configure instance, add storage, add tags, configure security group, and review it. Now I want to take you in detail. So go to the next step, configure instance details. Here you can choose number of instances that I'm choosing. By default it will take as a one. Otherwise, if you're having an auto scaling group, you can add this instance also to that specific auto scaling group. So if you need any information on this title, if you are not able to understand, just hover on this I is information, so you will get the information related to that thing. So if you want to aware of this auto scaling group, you can hover on that. You will get the information, brief information related to that. If you need a detailed information, you can directly click on this. It will take you somewhere. You can get the information related to that. Okay. So this is the number of instance. Then purchasing option. So if you use the spot instances, the cost is going to be reduced. So later you can understand the different kinds of instances. Then the networking, it has chosen my default VPC. I have multiple VPCs, but out of this it has chosen the default VPC. Next is subnet, so it has chosen default subnet. Seems like I have multiple subnets. If you are not choosing anything, it will create the default. Then you can see what it will does. Auto assign public IP. Okay, you can check, you can explore on the details of that. This is the placement group. Which placement group you are adding this instance, that it is saying. You can specify that. You can check this checkbox and then specify the placement group. Then the capacity reservation. Okay, so you can check on that. This is the domain join directory. That means if you are joining this instance to a single sign-on thing, to a single sign-on domain, so then you can check on that. So you can choose the relevant directory name and then join this instance to the domain. Then choose the IAM role. Okay, so here I don't want to change anything. I want to take it as a default. So the CPU options, you can check this and I can specify your customized CPU options. Then shutdown behavior, there are two options available, stop and terminate. Default it chooses stop. Okay, so these are all the things that you can configure. Enable termination protection, monitoring, tenancy, elastic graphics, credit specification. Apart from that, you can see the advanced details, uh, enclave, metadata accessible, metadata version, metadata token response, hop limit, user data, and all that. So let me not get into all that. I want to keep everything as a default. Later you can explore each and everything. Go to the add storage. Add storage, there will be a root volume actually. So you can choose the volume type, device snapshot, size of the volume and volume type, IAPS, throughput, delete on termination, encryption. You can choose as per your requirement. By default, it will take uh, 30 GB size of volume, root volume, and volume type will be general purpose. And there are different types of volume types available. So this you can go for provisioned IAPS, SSD, IO2, and all that. So where the throughput will be high. So depends upon the your requirement. You have to choose the volume type. Here I will be choosing the GP2, which is general purpose, and which has a standard IAPS rate of 100 by 3000. Throughput is not applicable, which will be of standard size. And delete on termination. So that means I have checked all already here. This is the default. By default it got checked. So that means if you are terminating this EC2 instance, this volume also will get deleted. If you uncheck this, if you terminate your EC2 instance, still this volume continues to exist. So that it means. So encryption, do you want to encrypt, or do you otherwise you can leave it as a non-encrypted also. Default will be non-encrypted. This encryption is related to the security aspects to that instance. Okay, This is stage 4. Then next stage is add tags. Here I don't want to do anything here right now. Then next is configure security group. Here I'm going to create a new security group, and I'll be choosing it should be accessible for remote desktop. So I have given RDP here. I am enabling this instance to make it accessible through a remote desktop. So RDP is enabled here. Then go to the next stage, which is review and launch. Okay, so this is the AMI details. All your configurations will be reflected in the 7th step. You can go through that. Now click on launch. Here you can edit any of these things, whichever you have previously given. Okay, so there is a provision for that. Otherwise, you can directly click on those tabs and then edit also. It works. Okay, go to the 6th and review and launch. Click on launch. Choose an existing pair. No, I want to guide you. I want to take a new key pair. Subbu KP 20th November 2020. Download key pair. I am downloading this key pair which is required for my future transactions. So keep it safe somewhere on your desktop. And click on launch instance. So now you will get a status like your instance are now launching. Click on view instances. So this is the latest instance which we have created now. You can name this instance also. Click on save. So this is our latest instance, which is the Windows instance which I have named here, and instance state is still running. Status check is not yet done. It may take couple of minutes. We will refresh and check what's happening. See, the status check is coming as initializing. It may take couple of minutes. Along with instance, I have other instances also, which I have right now I stopped and terminated. Still it is initializing. It may take couple of minutes. Until that, I will go on pause. I have resumed back. Now you can see the status check, 2 out of 2 checks, and it is showing green. Now your Windows instance is totally up and running. You can click on the instance ID to see the details of the instance. Okay, so this is the instance ID. This is the public IPv4 address. This is the private IPv4 address. Instance state is running. You can see the different details of this instance here. We have not chosen any IAM role, so it has not taken. So you have not provided any elastic IP address. We have chosen the default. This is the VPC that we have chosen. This is the subnet that we have chosen. Here we can see the different tabs. One is the details, kind of the instances Windows. This is the AMI name, AMI location, launch time, key pair name associated to this particular instance, owner of this. Okay, these are all in the details tab. Then we'll see what is there in the security tab. Okay, so these are all the security groups which is using. These are all inbound rules that we have given. These are all the outbound rules. You can restrict this inbound and outbound rules as per our requirement. Then we need to click on, then we'll see the networking. So here you can see some details. Then what is storage? We'll check what is there in this. This is the EBS root volume. This is the volume ID. You can click on this. It will take you to that volume details. This is monitoring. No actions has been done on this instance right now. Let us see the dashboard of monitoring. You can see the CPU utilization status check, network in bytes, network out in bytes. I have tried to check the status of this multiple times during the creation of the instance. During the time it was not got created, so the status has failed. That should not be a problem. So here are the tags. So the tag is the name. So after the creation of the instance, I have added this tag. I have given the name as Subbu EC2 Windows. You can add the tags after the creation of the instance also. Otherwise, during the process of creating the instance also, you can do that. So you can click on the instance. It will take us to the instances page. So this is the instance that we have created. That's all for today. Thanks for listening to my lecture. In the next lecture, I will be showing how you will be able to connect to this EC2 instance through the RDP. So that part will be take up. We will take it up. Thanks for listening to my lecture. Thank you all. Please subscribe to my channel to get more updates from me. Thank you all. Bye.